we have someone calling all the way from America's hat. Luk Vance in Canada. You're live with Eric and V. How are you doing? Luke or Luck? Hello.
There you go.
There we go. Hello.
You know, when you're on hold and you have a microphone on your head and you're waiting, so you go on mute and you say, "Hey, how
that happens to us all the time."
Oh yeah. What did you want to talk about today?
The prime mover argument. That's the subject I want to talk about today.
Okay. Are you convinced by it?
Yes, I'm a Catholic.
Okay.
So why are you convinced by the prime? Well,
the guy who coined the idea was one of ours.
One of ours.
St. Thomas Aquinas. Or no, it wasn't Aquinas, was it?
Aquinas was the ontological argument, which is different than prime mover. So tell us why it's convincing to you.
Well, actually, give us the premises because we want everyone to follow along.
Okay, that's fair.
So do you want to give it to us really quick?
I want to see your view about it. That was the reason why I called. I wanted to have an atheist view on how they view the prime mover argument and how they interpret it and how they cope with the fact that we have a prime mover or not have a prime mover. I don't know how.
Sure.
Okay.
With that.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Well, I would still like
for
us to go over the premises so that people would be able to follow along in case they're not familiar. Luck, can you give us the premises, the prime mover argument as a whole, so we can get the audience involved in this conversation?
I would prefer you do your version, the one you understand out of it.
Sure.
Can we do that?
Sure. So, it is essentially
the cosmological.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing it up just because I want to make sure. Here we go. The argument from contingency is a version of that. Every contingent fact has an explanation. There's a contingent fact that includes all other contingent facts. You could also go back to everything in motion has been set in motion by something else. And so it takes you back to a reductio ad absurdum.
Yeah.
Bleh.
Essentially, it's an argument to say we can't imagine this going on forever. Therefore, we need to put a pin in it somewhere. And this is where the pin is going. We have decided.
Yeah. And it's not just a temporal thing. Most people talk about temporal. So everybody winds up at the beginning of the universe. And how did the universe get going? You know, what happened when t equaled 0, right? And so, but that argument actually can be used in other ways, not just temporally. But ultimately, the argument is that God is the special answer that gets to break the rules. God is the unmoved mover.
Yes, and I think my question for you and for people who tend to like this argument a lot to talk about is why frame it in the way that we do? Why use mover? Why use creator? Why use cause with a capital C in these? It feels kind of like a way to slip in an idea that it was some kind of intelligence or some kind of sentience, when that doesn't necessarily follow from the structure of the argument itself, right? It could just as easily have been something that wasn't intelligent, as long as we have a stopgap for that, infinity problem. That's kind of what we're talking about. And a lot of theists say, oh, well, it's a mover, it's a creator, it's something with intelligence. And my only concern is, A, why are we putting it there and not somewhere else? And also, why are we assuming that it's intelligent or it has motive or it has agency of its own, especially if we're arguing that something like that could not come out of nothing? Does that make sense?
So, are you saying that there is a prime mover, but not the kind of prime mover that is described by the Catholic Church?
I'm saying that, well, let's take this sounds very similar to the Kalam cosmological argument, right? Where, everything that begins to exist has a cause or a prime mover. The universe began to exist, therefore the universe has a cause or a prime mover. And as far as I'm concerned, we could say the Big Bang is that moment, that linchpin that stops things from going on in infinity, and be done with it. And I know a lot of Christians, and you probably are calling in with an idea that linchpin is a being of some kind, or an intelligence, or an agent. And that's where I have a problem with it. I'm more than happy to grant the Kalam as far as it goes and say, sure, let's say there's a cause. We don't know what it is. And we're always looking and we're getting closer, but we don't have enough information to be able to know anything about that cause. And so what makes me kind of wince and hold back is when people claim to say that they know what that cause was.
Mm-hmm. So the answer to my question is yes. So when I said your view of prime mover is there is one, but it's not God.
Well, I disagree with the phrasing because prime mover makes it sound like something with intention. Yeah. I would prefer the term cause.
There is a first cause.
There is a cause. Sure. I'm willing to grant that for the sake of this conversation.
I'm not.
Thank you. And what about Eric? Do you agree with that?
No, but it's because I'm pedantic. I mean, here's the thing. It could be a really interesting conversation to have.
Yes.
But we do need to grant that to move forward.
Right. I'm just bored of having that conversation. So I'm like, okay, let's grant this and move to stage 2.
Let's just have other conversations other than arguing about whether or not there was a first cause. I think that the honest answer from me is I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I from there, everything after that would be hypothetical, and so it's just kind of what we're at, I think that when you appeal to a mystery to explain something, you're setting yourself up for failure, and I think that's what we're doing here.
Appeal to history?
Mystery.
A mystery. Oh, you're saying it's mystery because you said I don't know, but it's not because you don't know that everybody else doesn't know.
No. It's
no. There are people out there that know you don't know, but people other than you know what the answer is.
I don't agree with you.
Well, do you know what the answer is?
And how do you know?
Yeah.
How do I know they know?
How do you know?
How do I know that they know the answer?
No.
How do you know? I'm assuming you know the answer if you're calling in to talk with us about it, or are you also in the I don't know camp?
I know there is a first cause or a prime mover.
How?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. There are people that are smarter than I am that tells me there is one.
Okay, so because if smart people... Okay, hold on a second. I need to process that.
Most people around the world that are smarter than I am, all those that are smarter than I am, they tell me there is one.
Okay, let's just grant it. You're right. This is moving forward. Moving forward.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. So.
Well, no. It's. I think it's presumptuous.
Doesn't know. Sorry, what?
No, I just think it's presumptuous.
Presumptuous to say that most people know the cause, that there is a prime mover? What is presumptuous?
I don't know how you can know that something gets to break the rules, dude. I don't know how you can say, well, causality can't go backwards infinitely, therefore something gets to break the rules and be an unmoved mover. I don't.
That's okay, Rick. That's okay. It's not because you don't know that the answer is not out there.
No, exactly, which is why we are asking on shows. Like, why? Okay, we agree. We don't know the answer. We want the answer. You seem to have the answer, but you're not giving it to us.
You're just saying smart people told you.
I said the answer is there is.
How do you know?
That's the answer. And the reason why I know, let me repeat myself, is because there are smart people out there.
Cool.
That's an argument from authority.
Yeah, get them to call the show because that's pointless. If you wanted to call saying smart people told you a thing, then we'd rather talk to the smart people.
Yeah, that's what I wanted
Cool.
to do when I called.
If you are a smart people and you want to call in and tell us about it, please call. Okay, good. Now that that's out there.
I wanted to know your view about it, and your view is you don't have one yet. You don't know the answer to the question.
Hold on. That is a view.
What is your view? Yeah.
No, that is a view. The view is I don't think you can know. And I think that making the presumptuous answer just makes you fucking arrogant. But to sit back and otherwise say, well, because smart people, then we'll talk to the smart people. But until then, I think it's arrogant and presumptuous.
So you talk to them, right? That's what.
No, they haven't called in yet. You're obviously not them.
Smart people have not called in yet. Take note.
Yes.
You reached towards those smart people to understand the subject before claiming there is no way to know.
Here's the thing. The appropriate response to a question you don't know yet and don't have information on is I don't know. And then you wait to determine whether or not you can find information to make you decide yes or no on it. But until we have that information in front of us, we're stuck with I don't know because that's the only intellectually honest answer we can give.
That said, if you don't care and you just want to continue to have the conversation, we're willing to do that. But to go, well, no, we care. We care.
Oh, you care. So you went outside and you look at sources, right? And those sources didn't convince you that there was a cause, right?
As yet, no, that has not happened.
Yeah. So there is a reason why they didn't convince you there was a cause, right?
Oh, why is that?
Sounds like you know a lot about us.
You did research, and in your research you found stuff about the subject of prime mover, and the stuff that you found didn't convince you about there is a prime mover, right?
Right.
Yeah, right. So what I want to know, when I ask what is your view, is when you do that research and you heard the arguments presented by those smart people that are smarter than I am, you went to them. I guess that's who you went to. I hope that's
straight to William Lane Craig. Continue.
So and you found the argument insufficient. The way they presented wasn't enough for you to say I agree with them.
Well, right? the argument as I've seen it is I don't think it could be any other way. Or I don't understand that there could be any other way. It ultimately boils down to an argument from ignorance or an appeal to mystery. Mm-hmm. So, okay, even from the smart people, Luke.
Yeah.
Even from the smart, you heard them and you said, "Oh, they're just saying we don't know, so we put something there instead of we don't know."
No, I didn't say that. I said they said.
Oh, okay.
From what I heard from those apologists is I can't think of it being another way, so it has to be X. It's that whole bullshit idea with Sherlock Holmes, right?
Yeah, when you've eliminated all of the impossible, whatever remains, how improbable is the cause?
That's not how it works.
Right.
There's a reason why that author went to Harry Houdini and said, I know that you can dematerialize because it's the only way. I don't know how, but you can phase out of existence and phase back outside of the handcuffs. It's the only way. I've eliminated all possibilities, and no matter how improbable it is, I know that that's the case. That doesn't work. You just say, I don't know. And I think that you have a whole lot of people who got together and said, well, we think we've eliminated all other possibilities. It can't be any other way. So they were stuck. No, just say, I don't know.
Yeah. So you felt that these people said, I don't know, instead of it is impossible, right?
No, I think they said, no, they said it's impossible instead of I don't know. Other way around.
You heard them, it's impossible, and I'm sorry, I didn't get that one.
Sure. So the idea, we've gone through everything else, it's impossible for it to be any other way, so it has to be prime mover. That's what I've heard.
Oh, okay. That's what you heard. So yes. That's not what I heard from them.
Okay, cool. Make them call in. Have them call in and we'll talk to them about it.
How how about we talk about how you find truth?
Okay. Well, I would love to on another call. We do have a couple of other callers we want to get to, but if you call in with the subject,
Go ahead.
hey, how do you find truth?
Right.
I would love to have that conversation.
Yeah, have fun.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, I'm going to be watching that back going, what was that about?
What happened?
I don't. For those people who watch this after the fact and they're just like, what was that about? I don't know either, man.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
it's a bit confusing there.